So somehow it's been a decade since Samsung's Gear VR allowed you to strap your Galaxy smartphone to your mug and immerse yourself in cutting-edge 3D action games or the latest cinematic masterpieces, or if you're a bloke, as much VR grot as your internet could possibly handle. And 10 years later, Samsung's having another stab at sexy face furniture with this here Galaxy XR, a dedicated standalone mixed reality headset just like the Meta Quest for enjoying apps, games and absolute filth. And this time, no need to plug in a phone. Now the Galaxy XR may seem crazy expensive at £1,699, and that's because bloody hell it kind of is. But I guess at least it's still half the price of Apple's Vision Pro VR headset, and you don't have to watch Netflix through a pissing web browser. Now just yesterday I had the chance to have a good old play with the Galaxy XR, although because it was at Samsung's offices I decided against having a crafty browse of OnlyFans, instead just stuck to some of the biggest and best apps on there. So here's my early thoughts. Please let us know yours down in the commenty bit below. For more of the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now the design of the Samsung Galaxy XR, very different to the Meta Quest, but reminds me of some other rivals, the likes of the Pico 4 Ultra and the good old PS VR as well. You've basically got a massive face masky bit and then a headband which stretches around the sides of your head just to help lock it in place. Feels pretty stable, and at 545 grams it's reasonably light as well, although it's still a wee bit heavier than the Meta Quest 3 and 3S, and there's bugger all battery built in. You've got plenty of soft fabric cushioning around the facial region, and that weight is pleasingly well balanced. Basically just slip it onto your face. You've got a rear dial that you can use to adjust the tightness of the band, so it's quick and easy to pull on and off. Certainly felt pretty comfortable to wear, and although my face-on session only lasted approximately an hour, pretty confident that an extra hour or two on top of that wouldn't have been feeling any discomfort, and I feel like my neck was being squashed or anything. There's plenty of space in that faceplate if you do happen to wear glasses. Otherwise you can order prescription lenses online for a small fee, which you then just effectively snap onto the inside lenses. It looks like the setup's pretty quick and easy. And if you're going to be traveling with the Galaxy XR, you can chuck a few extra quid at Samsung for the official case. Although frankly, this is bloody massive and would probably take up about half of my suitcase by itself. You might just about get away with it as like hand luggage on a plane or something, but frankly, I don't think I'll be taking it on many trips. Now on the software side, Samsung Galaxy VR runs Android XR OS, which has been specially built for VR headsets. And this shiny wee helmet is the very first to use it, although of course Samsung has tweaked it to give it that One UI vibe, so any Sammy fans out there should be feeling right at home. And as you would hope, Android XR OS is compatible with all existing Android apps. And you can run up to 5 of the buggers side by side at any given time, although I've got to say it did feel like the processor was huffing and puffing somewhat with that many all on the go at once. And of course you get all the usual benefits of running apps on a VR headset, including a whopping great cinematic view for all of your movie, TV show shenanigans. Full support for all the usuals, of course, YouTube, Netflix, Crunchyroll, Prime Video. And in the Google TV app, you can actually link together all your different streaming services and then enjoy your content in a lovely cinema-style environment, minus the sticky floors and the teenagers constantly on TikTok. And certainly more immersive than just having a big old floating window slapped right in front of your face, although fair warning, just be careful when running YouTube full view, because being confronted with my enormous slap head blown up to Godzilla proportions is just pure nightmare juice. Now, as well as being compatible with the full Android catalogue, apparently over 200 apps have been either upgraded or built specially from the ground up just for Android XR. And this includes some VR games, none of which sadly I got to test out in my face-on session. You'll have to wait for my full review for more on that. But for instance, the likes of Google Photos can add a 3D style effect to your photos using AI shenanigans naturally, although this seemed a little bit hit and miss in my session. Google Maps is absolutely a highlight, though when you stick it into immersive view, so this gives you a proper bird's eye view of the world. And the proper little 3D effects, so cities, mountains, etc. actually have proper depth. Kind of feels like you're hovering over an intricate model. Tried a couple of other exclusive apps as well, including one which was basically just a bunch of trippy videos laid over Coldplay songs. I suppose it could be entertaining if you chuck back some mushrooms. And I'm not talking about portobellos. You've got all the usual Google apps slapped on there, of course. Got a bit of Gemini and Circle to search as well. You can actually use that to interact with things in the real world in XR mode, as well as anything you find in your usual apps or online. And I didn't get a chance to test it, but the Galaxy XR apparently also seamlessly connects with your Galaxy Book laptop, so you can enjoy all those apps in a VR environment. Now on the front of the Galaxy XR, you'll find two world-facing cameras which can beam your environment into the headset so you can see where exactly you are, what you're doing. And you can quickly swap between this pass-through mode and a virtual environment with a 24-hour day-night cycle. And the main way of interacting with your apps and everything else is a good bit of hand tracking. You've actually got 6 hand tracking cameras in total scattered around the face of the headset, and these do their job beautifully. You basically pinch and grab apps to move them around. You can pinch menus to scroll, pinch to zoom in and out of stuff like maps. There's more pinching here than at Fagan's annual Orphan reunion. And hey, best of all, while you're using the Galaxy XR, you absolutely do not look like a massive knob to everyone else in the room. And the Galaxy XR also sports 4 internal cameras which can track your peepers and see exactly what you're staring at. So you can actually use this to open menus, etc. just by staring at something specific, which is pretty handy if your hands are busy, I guess. Wink wink, nudge nudge. And the Galaxy XR's hand tracking is actually pretty bloody good, to be fair. You don't need to wave your arms around or have them held out in front of you like this. You can actually be much more subtle, just have your hands down by your sides making the gestures and it'll recognize them just fine. And the hand tracking works pretty well for typing as well, although as usual, pretty slow going compared with typing on a regular keyboard. If you are planning on doing quite a lot of typing while rocking that headset, where you can slip a few extra quid into Samsung's G-String for a proper wireless keyboard accessory, although I've got to admit, I don't think I'd be using any apps where you have to do a lot of typing in VR. It seems a bit pointless. And if you want the official Galaxy XR controllers, which look just like them MetaQuest controllers, well, again, you'll have to throw some extra cash at Samsung because they don't come bundled. And you will, of course, likely need those controllers if you want to play some of the more complex VR titles on the Galaxy XR. Although Samsung did say that just regular wireless Bluetooth controllers are compatible with this headset as well, so at least you can get your Genshin on in a big cinematic style experience. Now, one of the highlights of the Samsung Galaxy XR is its pair of 4K micro OLED screens, one for each eyeball. This offers up a 3840 by 3552 resolution, so the visuals are pretty crisp, as long as the app and the processor can keep up. The field of view wasn't restrictive. It didn't feel like you were wearing one of those old-fashioned diving helmets or anything. And you got 90 Hz refresh, so everything was reasonably smooth. And another highlight is the built-in stereo speakers. The Samsung Galaxy XR boasts proper spatial audio, so you can enjoy 360-degree sound. Incredibly immersive when you're watching a bit of concert footage, for instance. You can imagine it'll be fantastic when you're enjoying a bit of live sport. So there's certainly no need to hook up a pair of earbuds as well, although I didn't get a chance to test how bad the sound bleed was. Gonna have to wait for my full review for that. And this headset is powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon XR2 Plus Gen 2. It's a chipset which launched at the arse end of 2024. So not exactly super fresh, but it's still more powerful than the Meta Quest 3, and that's backed here by 16 gigs of RAM. And I certainly saw some slowdown in my time with the Galaxy XR so far, although it's kind of hard to tell whether this is down to the headset performance, whether this is down to the apps I was playing with, the office Wi-Fi. There's a number of different factors. I'll certainly be more thoroughly testing the multitasking and also the gaming chops of this thing when I get my own review headset. Now, as mentioned before, there's no built-in battery here. The Galaxy XR needs to be powered by this specific official external battery pack. You can't simply plug any random pack in that you have lying around. But what you can do is connect another external battery pack to the official Galaxy XR battery pack via USB-C, kind of set them up in tandem in order to extend that battery life. Or alternatively, you can also apparently just plug that battery pack directly into the mains and therefore play for as long as you like. As long as you've got a long enough cable, of course, you can be careful not to garrot yourself. And with a fully charged Galaxy XR battery pack, you can expect just over 2 hours of use, approximately, depending on obviously what you're up to. If you're playing a game or doing something a bit more power intensive, it will drain faster. And while I would have preferred a built-in battery, that would have also meant a heavier headset overall, so it's a reasonable compromise, especially as tucking that battery into my pocket didn't really get in the way or anything like that, wasn't an inconvenience. Now, of course, there's big differences between the likes of the Galaxy XR headset and the likes of the Meta Quest headsets. The Galaxy XR considerably more expensive. You do have access to all of your Google apps, Gemini, etc. as well. As the Meta Quest, definitely much stronger for that VR game, and of course Meta Quest has been around for years and years now, so you've got a massive dedicated catalogue of excellent VR titles. Whereas at the moment, the Galaxy XR, of course, quite limited on that front, although you can, of course, play any Android title with a lovely cinematic style experience. But here's hoping that Android XR OS gets some pretty nifty exclusive VR games pretty sharpish to make full use of those gorgeous 4K displays. The Samsung Galaxy XR will go on sale July the 8th here in the UK. You can pre-order them right now from the likes of Samsung.com. You'll also be able to buy direct from Samsung's high street stores. And if you want to try before you buy, which I'd highly recommend when you're spunking this amount of cash on a headset, you'll be able to actually get your own face on one of these things at the Samsung stores in the Manchester Trafford Centre, London KX, and also Westfield in London, as well as Stratford City. And there you have it, my lovely. That in a tasty wee nutshell is what I reckon after a quick session with the Samsung Galaxy XR. As I say, full review hopefully incoming. In the meantime, it'd be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. And hey, while you're down there, why not poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Have yourselves a ruddy wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everybody, love you!